Hi, family. I hope you are well. I hope the weekend was great. I hope you are ready for this week. You have prepared yourself, you have set those goals, and you are ready to achieve. You've brought a positive attitude. You have left behind everything that didn't go well last week. You are just set to enjoy this week, right? It doesn't matter what you have to do, but if you set your mind on enjoying the week, I tell you, you will have a blast every day, no matter how difficult things get at work, at home, or wherever you are, right? So today I want to talk to you about whose journey are you really on? I am Pulaa Montz, your inner voice magnified. I believe that most of us have been on certain journeys, right, to success. But the journey that we're on is not a journey that we want to be on, but it's a journey that we were told we're supposed to be on. I remember hearing this from John Maxwell saying, most people leave their parents' journeys to success, right? And they never make that switch that is needed in order for them to live their best lives ever. And that was one of those quotes that changed my perspective, that changed my attitude towards life, because for a long time I had never really defined success for myself. In my family, success was you go to school, you get a tertiary qualification, you get into a great company that pays well with benefits, air conditioned office, and that is the hype of success, right, for our family. But there came a point in my life as I was listening rather to these inspirational messages. I started feeling like, there is something more that I feel I should be doing. Success for me is something completely different from what I've been taught. Whatever I was taught was good enough to a certain point of my life, but beyond that point, I just could not take it anymore. Beyond that point, it was just not good enough anymore. I just felt like, oh my gosh, I've done everything that I was told success was. What's next? Am I waiting now to die? There's nothing more exciting that is coming up. So it will mean just growth in whatever career that I've chosen, but that's it. I just felt like no ways. Whatever I was doing was just not fulfilling. There was something out there for me. I started looking inside of me. I started, doing a whole lot of introspection. I started thinking. I had one speaker saying, thinking is the most difficult thing that a human being can do. Hence, so little people actually engage in the process of thinking. And at first I thought, what is he talking about? We think automatically. Thinking is an automatic process. So what does it mean? But I learned eventually that he meant, reflective thinking. It is what I call reflective thinking. Looking at where you are. Is it enough? Looking at where you're going. Are you on the right track? Type of thing. Starting to ask yourself questions that will challenge you to do more. That will challenge you to want to be more. So those were the kind of things that I started doing when I realized that, what? I believe I need to be on my own journey to success. I need to switch from a success that I was taught by my parents, right? That I was taught by my teachers, into a certain space that I believe is success for me. And I never could have imagined the kind of life that I'm living right now, the quality of life that I'm living. I used to believe that, success was being busy, success was being active, was just moving at a fast pace, right? But these days, I'm all for peace. Whatever doesn't give me peace, I do not entertain. I'm all for taking time, for understanding that I'm on my own journey. You know, I used to be one of those people who'd compete, who'd want to do this because I saw somebody else doing it. I just wanted to move because people were moving. I wanted to study because I felt like people were studying around me, even though I didn't want to study because I just felt like I was in the wrong space. But year after year, I would consistently register for modules that I would always fail because I wasn't studying. I was just not interested. But I would keep registering because I just felt like this is what people in this career do, right? I just was moving because people were moving. I never really took time to sit down with myself and ask myself, what is it that you want? Where are you going exactly? What is it that you're doing on this earth? You know, it was never a process of thinking for me about my life. It was just an automatic thing. I mean, even the dreams that I would have, I would never just take 30 minutes to sit down and think about my dreams. It would be a thinking process during the day while I'm busy with something else. I would then think about the next step, what I want to achieve with my life, right? But when I realized the value of sitting down and thinking about what success meant for me, that's when I was able to make the switch from the journey that my parents and my teachers and everybody in my environment had taught me into the success that I had defined for myself. And I tell you, you know what? There is nothing like making a decision and actually going for it, knowing full well that every consequence that comes from that decision, you have nobody else but yourself to blame if things go wrong, or you've got nobody else but yourself to congratulate if things go well, right? Of course, that excludes God, right? Because I believe that we do everything because of God's grace. So when I mean everybody, I mean like everybody on earth, right? But you've got yourself to thank for actually committing to something and actually making it happen on a day-to-day basis. You know, I know that things get slow at times. It feels like, you know, you are not moving. It feels like, I mean, I've been doing this over and over again. I mean, I left whatever was comfortable for me to start this thing. But right now, it looks like actually my success journey is actually a slow kind of journey. It's not getting me to where I want to be, but the journey that I was living, my parents' journey, was a fast-paced journey. People were seeing that I had progress, right? But now, ever since I've made a switch, it feels like things are slow. Enjoy where you are, because I believe that, you know, every moment of each journey that you're on is so important, and it is relevant because when you start getting busy, you will wish for these moments right now. I always remind myself, enjoy the moments when it is slow, when you can rest, when you can just spend the whole day without thinking about books, without thinking about anything, without having any kind of pressure, because there will come a time when you will wish for such moments. So it is important to ask yourself, whose journey are you still on to success? Do you have the courage to make the switch if you have identified that actually not only are you still on your parents' journey, for example, but you know the kind of journey that you're supposed to be on, but you're still lacking courage? When you don't have that bridge from what you've been taught to where you want to be, that only tells me that you're not taking time to reflect. That is the bridge. That is the time that will give you the kind of bridge that you need from moving from where you are to where you want to be. Reflective thinking will give you that kind of bridge. And I've spoken to so many people. I'll be like, but this is where you want to go. You know where you want to be. But why are you stuck here? You need to take time and think. And a person would be like, but think about what? I don't know what to think about. I always tell people it is because you haven't sat down to think. You know, when you practice the process of reflective thinking, first day, second day, maybe a whole month, you'll commit to 15 minutes to sit and think. And when you get to your thinking space, you realize you don't know what to think about. Your mind starts wandering to other things, other problems, things that you could be doing. But the more you commit to that 10 minutes of reflective thinking, trying to quiet your mind so that you're able now to focus on the kind of dreams that you want to focus on, or shaping of the dreams that you want, you commit yourself over and over again. I tell you, everything takes practice in order for you to be able to do it without thinking anymore, right? So just commit yourself to that 10 minutes, 15 minutes of reflective thinking. Then you'll be able to know whether you're still really on your parents' journey, or you've adopted the journey that they gave you, but it is now your journey. Because it doesn't mean that just because you were taught that success is the corporate world, then it means that is wrong. No, you could find that, yes, that's what you were taught, but now you've accepted that dream as your own, right? Now you will hear people saying things like, I'm not on a job right now. I mean, I'm building a career. Then you know that this person has made a switch at some point from what she or he was taught, right, by the parents, that a career is having a good job in a good company. But when people start speaking things like, I'm on a career, I'm building a career, right, then you hear that this person has actually adopted that success for themselves, and now they are putting more effort, and there is love to what they are doing, because it is something that they've decided it is their own. So now that we're starting a week, it is May, the 5th month of the year. Whose journey are you on? Will you keep staying on this journey that's making you miserable just because you refuse to think? I tell you, if you start doing reflective thinking, if you start taking time out for such, you will find out whether you're on your journey to success or somebody else's journey to success. I am Pulaa Montz, your inner voice magnified.